Hey Lad Rats, and welcome to the Metal Lad podcast. I'm Tom Lando.
And I'm Rich.
So what have you been up to, Rich?
Well, this month, obviously, we've had a lot going on the page. I forgot to mention last month, obviously, I was on with Runs the Planet with Jules from Effigy of Hate, celebrating their win from the Battle of the Bands winners. So that was a great time managing to catch up with them and talk to them. I've just been enjoying the slow release from lockdown and the fact that we can start to actually plan and look ahead at an awesome time for metal. How about yourself?
Just trawling the internet to bring the best underground metal to all of the lad rats out there.
Fantastic. So in that vein, who have we got first?
Well, kicking off the show, we have a one-man black metal artist, Blood Temptation, and the track is River of Styx.
Fantastic.
The world and its universe are open to me. Inferno windstorms, sky burns set in a blaze. In the fog of the night, into the dark shades that cold inside me, we go over the river tide. Of the darkest Marines, a figure stands before me without its face. It then vanishes in the midnight wind. Forever, the dusk is my home. This is where my spirit roams. Oh, darkness never set me free. Let me sleep eternally on the river of Styx we float. Landscapes of a cloudy ruins in the graveyard. See the light fade. The stars die, the world and its universe are open to me. Darkness covers earth.
So that was River of Styx by Blood Temptation, signed by Plague Demon Records.
Oh, cool. So tell me a little bit about them, what they up to and things like that.
Okay, well, as you can hear, the album, it contains 8 very demonic sort of blackened metal songs, quite atmospheric. So Blood Temptation have been around since about 2019, and they've released 3 demos, but this is the first full-length album that they've released under Plague Demon Records.
Oh, cool. So hopefully there'll be someone you'll be able to catch as more bands start touring. And in that vein, obviously as part of the Metal Lab, I look after the gig list on a Thursday. So if you're in a band or you're looking for upcoming gigs, make sure you check out the Facebook page and the gig list section. So what I've noticed from that is obviously people are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel of all of this. People are starting to plan gigs. So make sure you do go over there. There does seem to be a real positive vibe of people wanting to get out there, and I know obviously we've been cooped up for far too long, Tom, and we can't wait to get out there and actually come and see some of these awesome bands we've been learning about on the Metal Lab. And one of the privileged things that we have on this page is the fact that we managed to get to hear a lot of these bands and actually talk to them, and we know how much they are ready and raring to get out there. So check out the page. Like I say, if you're a venue and you want a band to play, get in contact, put a notice up there, say come play here. If you're a band and you want to play, put a post up there saying you want to play and you're looking for support slots or whatever it is. Come look at the page, put it up there, and we'll see if we can get you a gig.
It is very encouraging to see all of the up and coming gigs. I mean, so far, you know, because we've been in lockdown for so long, I'm very surprised that all of the gigs have just been, you know, they've been going mental, especially in the UK scene. I mean,
people seem very positive about it, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, you've got the Riffolution Festival. That's in Manchester. That looks amazing.
When's that scheduled to go ahead?
That is scheduled.
So you look on your phone for the information.
Oh, here we go. We have, so put it in your diaries, guys. So it's the 25th and 26th of September at the Bread Shed in Manchester.
Fantastic.
Weekend tickets are £30.
Bargain.
And we have some really awesome bands such as Ohms, Elephant and Tree, and Cronery. So make sure you check that out on our Facebook page on the gig list.
Great. Okay. And who have we got next?
So we have a Scottish band from Stirling. They're called Archrival, and the track is called Rebirth.
Let's go.
Rebirth.
So that was Rebirth by Ark Arrival, a fantastic track. And talking of fantastic tracks, obviously Tom, you have your track of the week feature. Can you tell us about anybody that you've come across that you've been particularly sort of stoked about?
Yeah, of course. I mean, these guys were in one of our Battle of the Bands. They were the runners-up, but they're a long-time supporter of the Metal Lab, and they've been around the Metal Lab scene for a long time. They're from Sweden, and they're called Bofo Kwo, led by vocalist Ted Egger.
Fantastic.
And Chemo Lindholm, who's also the guitarist. They've released their new album called Space Time Carnivorium. So
Space Time Carnivorium, nice title.
very, very cool. So yeah, so they have a lot of very sort of different sounding tracks, we would say, very different sounding names on the album.
Okay.
So you have to be in the mind space of Ted Egger to really understand.
Is this a particular mind space that you need to be in? Do you need any help to get into this mind space?
If you speak to Ted, you will absolutely find out what kind of mind space that he lives in.
So with your track of the week, so what is this about? Is this just particular artists that you find particular grab your interest, or why is it that you feel like highlighting these individual tracks? What is it about them that makes them your tracks of the week?
I think it's important because I listen to a lot of the albums, and there's always a track that draws me into that album. So I created the track of the week just as a reference guide to that album, to just sort of say to people, this is the band,
Right.
take a listen to this track, and then hopefully they will get the same sort of feeling that I have when I listen to the track, and hopefully if they like it, then they might like the album as well, and it's good exposure for the bands, and
Yeah, definitely.
it's what we're about,
So fantastic. So Bofo Kwo, and the title of the song we're going to be playing?
is Green Leviathan.
The Black Death is estimated to have killed 30% to 60% of Europe's population. In total, the plague may have reduced the world's population from an estimated 475 million to 350 to 375 million in the 14th century. Syria, cleaning the covered with dead bodies.
Hey, this is Ted from Bofo Kwo. You're listening to the Metal Lab podcast. Keep it metal.
So that was Bofo Kwo with Green Leviathan from the album Space Time Carnivorium.
Fantastic. So they were obviously one of your tracks of the week. As well as tracks of the week, obviously we have our Battle of the Bands. So for anybody out there who doesn't know, if you're in a band and you're interested in participating, the idea is that we have a light-hearted competition where we take two bands, we put them up on the page, we get people to come listen to the chosen track, to vote on which one they like. It's not about who's the best band, it's about what song speaks to you the most, which song is it that you want to win. Put your vote on the page, just put a comment which one you feel is the best in your opinion. That person or the band that wins from that will then get a chance to have an interview on France the Planet, a radio station based in South Africa but plays out to the entire world. You'll get a chance for your songs to be heard. Obviously there'll be some promotion on the Metal Lab page, obviously shout outs and links to all of your media sites. It doesn't cost you anything to join or participate, just become a member and obviously you can take part. So Tom, tell us a bit about some of the previous Battle of the Band winners.
Yeah, I mean it is great exposure as well. Just before we hit on that, it's great traffic to the YouTube channel as well. So a lot of bands can get a new subscription levels and new Spotify levels
fantastic.
As well. So I've had some really good feedback from some of the bands to say over the 6 days they've had some astronomical numbers hitting the pages, which is what it's all about.
Brilliant, yeah, of course.
So some of our winners from the previous sort of month, we've had a band called Tomb of Lucifer, who are from India. We had Sin on 6, they're from Colorado, managed by Ground Zero Promotions. From Aberdeen, we've got Deadfire, and this is how global it is. Even from South Africa, we've had a band called Boiling Point.
Oh, fantastic. So obviously all of these bands have managed to get some airplay and an interview exclusively on the radio show, even. And I know that obviously they've appreciated that kind of exposure for their bands. Obviously not everybody is a winner, and obviously we still celebrate those that didn't quite make it the first time round. And again, the whole point of the competition is to get exposure to both the bands, not just one in particular.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at the global reach as well, I mean, all of the bands that we have named have come from all over the world.
Yes,
so
it's not just about UK metal or American metal or European metal, it is from all over the globe.
Which is nice for obviously everyone as well to discover new bands in India and South Africa,
Yeah, well I think this goes back to the ethos of the Metal Lab being the home of underground metal, being the place where wherever you are, whatever your taste, there's a place to come and listen, to come and join, to come and show your side of metal, what it is that you enjoy about it, whether you're in a band, whether you just enjoy the metal scene, or whatever it is that you relate to metal. The Metal Lab is here for you to come together in one metal force. So, who we got playing for us as one of our previous Battle of the Band winners?
Okay, so we have a band from Glasgow, Scotland, and they're called Nocturne Wulf, and the track is called Troll Hunter. So that was Troll Hunter by Nocturne Wulf.
Fantastic. So on the Facebook page, obviously we have many segments, some of which we've highlighted already on today's show. Obviously, if you go onto the page and you look into the post topics and you click into there, you'll find a vast array of different things that we cover, whether that's the gig list, as we mentioned, or the band of the month, or the battle of the bands. So, Tom, you'd like to highlight one of those segments this show, so what is it?
Definitely. It's called the Artist Showcase. Now,
Great.
The idea behind Artist Showcase is getting a bit of raw footage from bands who are playing in the studio or at home, and just playing, different sort of, guitar riffs or song. And I think that's quite an important sort of thing to show people, that they're actually just normal people sitting in a house with a guitar.
Well, especially at the moment where you can't actually go out. Obviously, there's going to be many of us who do have instruments who will be just sat there at home playing our instruments, however you want to take that.
Definitely. And what I've seen as well is when we first started, there's a lot of artists who have posted that are just sitting in their bedroom. There's some guys who aren't even signed, aren't even in the band, but are very good musicians.
Yeah.
And it's nice for them to get exposure as well, because if there is bands on the group looking for guitarists or drummers or anything, it might be of interest to them to have a look on the Artist Showcase, to actually maybe message these guys and say, do you fancy coming for some guitar?
That's a fantastic idea. So if you are in a band and you are looking for musicians to put together a group, so once we are out to play, you can get out there and start rocking, check out the segment. So go to the Facebook page, look on the group topic section, click in there, look on for Artist Showcase, and take a video of yourself showing us what you can do. So coming up next, Tom, who have we got?
We have a very old school band from New York called Terror Garden, and the track is I Don't Care.
Let's go.
and it real. The dues you've got to pay. The pressure keeps building. All the stress is insane. Just make it go away. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Now I care. Don't care. Don't care.
So that was I Don't Care by Terror Garden. Next, Tom, let's talk a little bit about Franz and Franz the Planet. For those that don't know, as we mentioned before, Franz the Planet runs a radio station over in South Africa where our Battle of the Bands winners gets exclusive interview with Franz there. He loved the scene as much as we do, so make sure you do go and give him some love. So Tom, yeah, tell us a bit about Franz and about some of the metal that's coming out from South Africa.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he runs his show, the Monday Night Metal Madness, from the Berg Studio. He runs about 4 or 5 shows a week where he's playing different music from all over, mainly South Africa. I didn't realise that the metal scene, the underground metal scene, was so big in South Africa.
Well, I don't think it's one of those countries that you associate with metal, is it?
No, I mean, I'd seen bands like Bofo Kwo over here who are probably leading the way for South African metal, but then when I sort of met Franz, he's opened it up to so many new underground bands, you know, like Imperious Vision, Truth Decayed, Chaos Doctrine, and loads of other bands out there that just are so good at the moment.
Does there seem to be a South African sound that you seem to be hearing?
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to Volvadinia, they're known in the UK as a sort of a slam band,
Right,
with the
okay.
very big breakdowns and the pig squeals.
Right.
Imperious Visions, I mean, their album Empire of Illusion, I would say what I've heard coming out of South Africa is probably the best album in the last 10 years, production wise.
Okay.
It is amazing. They're very old school death metal sound, and you know, vocalist Nick Hagen, he's got some vocals on him, and just the album itself, production wise, is amazing. So you need to check that album out. So it's Empire of Illusion by Imperious Vision.
Well, that's quite the endorsement there, Tom. So I'm guessing, obviously, South African bands, obviously the association with Franz has opened up the doors maybe to that kind of area of music that you may not have searched for perhaps before. And I think this is one of the things that we're trying to get across to people, is that in today's world where everything is available on the internet, you need to know where to look. Come join us here, come be part of what it means to be part of the Metal Lab, become a lab rat, join the army so that we can actually get more people out there to enjoy metal, to hear this fantastic art form that is helping to transform people's lives in a fantastically good way. And I think as more and more people come out of lockdown, and as people are still angry about certain things and unsure about others, I think metal is one of those forms of music that definitely helps release that kind of thing. So from South African bands, what would be one of your sort of top bands to listen to?
Well, it's going to actually go into the track that we're going to play in a moment. So this band is called Chaos Doctrine, and the track is called Father Gregory.
Fantastic. So that was Chaos Doctrine with Father Gregory.
Hey, this is Nick from Imperious Vision, and you're listening to the Metal Lab podcast.
So Tom, obviously we're trying to help promote the underground metal scene as much as possible.
Definitely.
And one of the things that I want to try and bring to that is obviously my experience of working in music licensing and understanding of the music world from that side of things. We want to try and give as much information, as much help out there for free as possible. But obviously things do cost some money, so in that vein we're going to shamelessly sell ourselves and bring to you our offerings of what it is for merch. So if any of you out there are interested in trying to help us, then buying some of our merch definitely goes a long way to helping us to continue to be able to do this, and hopefully in the future bring you more and more metal and help promote more and more bands. So Tom, what kind of delightful metal related goodies can people get?
So we work with a company called Moomin Merchandise who are in the UK. They're an amazing company who have obviously tried to keep the cost down as much as we can, and make it as cheap for all of the lab rats out there to purchase some of our stuff. So the first products that we released were some keychains.
Yep.
So we have a pick keychain that says the Metal Lab on it, and we just have some normal moulded Metal Lab keychains. We also have a necklace with a guitar pick on it that says the Metal Lab.
Oh, so you're never without your guitar pick.
Exactly. And we also have Metal Lab bottle openers for when you have that sunny day and you want a nice beer, and you can open it with your Metal Lab bottle opener.
Fantastic. Now with the bottle openers, I believe we also have some Metal Lab coasters.
We do. They're grey slate.
Very fancy.
Yeah, they're very cool, very good quality. They say the Metal Lab, the home of underground metal on them. So you can buy them singly, or you can get them in a pack of 4.
Very suave. And I believe to go along with your bottle of beer that you've opened with your Metal Lab bottle opener on your Metal Lab coaster, what better than a Metal Lab glass to fill your beer?
It's a pint glass as well, so it's all engraved with the Metal Lab logo, which looks really, really cool. And it also says at the bottom, the home of underground metal. So yeah, so it's quite a perfect little set for someone who likes to drink and have a bit of fun in the summer.
Well, fantastic. And as well as these fantastic items, obviously we have our t-shirts that are available. So where can they get their t-shirts from, Tom?
They can get them from the Moomin Merchandise page. As I said, if you go onto Moomin Merchandise and type in the Metal Lab, it will come up with everything that we sell. They come in a vast array of colours. We can do white with red, we can do red with black, we can do
all the colours.
Yes, white with black writing, black with white writing. It's really cool. It has Metal Lab on the back, and then it has our really cool logo, the home of underground metal.
So fantastic. So for anybody out there who would seriously like to help us and get some amazing merch, some really good looking stuff, go over to the Facebook page, have a look under the merch section. On there you'll find some links and some pictures so you can see all the fantastic things we have. So as well as obviously trying to shill ourselves out, obviously we'd like to give a big shout out to all the people and all the admins that do help to make the Metal Lab possible. Obviously without them and without the people who participate by posting and join in the, whether it's the Friday vote or whether it's putting your pictures up for the merch showcase and things like that, we really do appreciate it, and we really do want to try and do the best for the bands out there. So again, if you want to get involved, if you want to be considered as a Battle of the Bands, get in contact, drop a message on the page. But otherwise, come join us at the Metal Lab,
the home of underground metal.
Life like a